Welcome to day 34. Yes. Welcome, guys. Trust you're doing well and great. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening to me this morning. I do not take it for granted. This morning I'm talking calmly like this because it has to do with what today's word is about. Today we're looking at prioritizing, and the characteristics for today is temperance. Now, I love today so much because it's really talking about the understanding of priority, and in the aspects of we're talking about the power of doing, and whether you like it or not, is either you intentionally do something or you do something without intention. Doings does not respect everybody. Every day we do something, so it is the things that we do with intentions that actually count. Do you get? So whether you like it or not, when you wake up, immediately you wake up in the morning, there's already gazillion things to do. Like you're already having this can do this that this, you already have it. But if you don't learn how to do things with intention, you will actually find out that you've lived 10 years, 5 years, 1 year without actually being able to say, these are the blueprints, these are the footprints of how the past 1 year has been for me. So a few things stood out for me today. Life is constantly moving, so it is why you and I have to become very disciplined with choosing and prioritizing things that we engage in, things that are important to us. I remember that me recording this podcast now, there are a lot of things I could be doing, but I had to say, I'm going to record this podcast and I'm going to make it available for my guys, and I'm going to make sure somebody out there is going to listen to it. I had to put intentions to it. If not, there are a lot of things I could be doing. There are a lot of things I could be doing. And then another thing the book said is that you need to learn how to say no. And then he said something after he said that. He said you need to learn how to say no, even to things that are good for you. There are just sometimes that you have to like take your stand and say no. I'm not doing this. I will do better at this. You just have to learn how to say no. You have to leave some space in your agenda to allow God to interrupt your plans. And this is talking about the fact that yes, prioritize, yes, have schedules, yes, have this, but also understand that you have to leave space for God to interrupt your schedule. Do you understand? You have to leave space where you prioritize God. The key to you have to the key to schedule your the key is to schedule your priorities, not to prioritize your schedule. Do you get? The key is not to prioritize your schedule, but to schedule the things that are priorities to you. And the characteristics for today is talking about temperance. When I first saw temperance, I thought we were going to talk about, we have spirit control, temperance and stuff. But it's also amazing when it started talking about temperance, and it was talking to it with as we got to the fruits of the spirit. And temperance is the seventh fruit that we're told to add to our faith. And then it's also important that in this part of temperance, it's talking about the fact that you have to learn to be still. You have to learn to be still. And one practical example is that, for example, now I'm currently staying in Lagos. Where I stay, the light is not that constant. So as a result of that, yeah, there are days when I don't get to be online. So I remember, like for example, yesterday was one of those days for me. And instead of me to be anxious, to be like, oh, the things I want to do, you know what I just did? Since I saw that the light was not lighting, so what I did was I just took my book. I think I read up to like 10 pages or almost 15 pages yesterday. I read, I listened to some videos that I wanted to just catch up on. I just stayed away from online, and I was just still, and I was just still, and I was just in the moment. You know, for example, let me ask you, if your phone does not come on in a day, what other things will you do? Yeah, if your phone, like, can you do without your phone for a day? Or let me even say for an hour. If your phone should leave your hand in an hour, what will you do? Some people, like, they can't really, like, they don't feel like their life has a meaning without their phones to catch up online. And I used to be so addicted to my phone, so I'm not going to lie. Even till now, I'm a bit addicted. I'm not that addicted, but I'm a bit addicted, For even now, whenever something happens and maybe without light and all these things, I still get to be like, for a minute, I get like this anxiety for a minute and then immediately I recover. But for you, how is it? Today is just telling us that yes, doing is great, but so also is being still. It's so amazing that someone dies in 2 minutes, and in the same 2 minutes, another person is born into the world. The world does not stop, the world keeps evolving, the time keeps counting. So, it is when you learn how to be still, it is when you learn how to be responsible for your time intentionally that the time will actually count for you. Your time does not count because it is moving. Your time counts because of the things you intentionally allow to fill those tiny bits of those tiny bits in time. So, in conclusion, I'm just going to say, please and please and please, while in a busy world, also know that you can prioritize yourself, your self awareness, your journey, and every other amazing things. Alright, guys, so thank you so much for listening to me. God bless you. Please, have you ordered my book? Order my book if you have not. Thank you so much for listening to me. I come in the next time. My name is the Global.